Okay, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Accommodation Show. This week, we are joined by one of the most wonderful people in the accommodation industry, Miss Jennifer Boyles. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Bart. Good to see you.
I'm, as always, very excited to see you. We hung out at Can Stays in Canada for a few days, and we've been hanging out an awful lot online, chatting on WhatsApp and that sort of thing. I've been following your journey, your stories, and it's finally amazing to have you back on the Accommodation Show. How have you been?
Wonderful. It's just absolutely great to be here. And don't forget VR Nation. We were there as well. We basically spent a couple of weeks together with a break in the middle for me to go home. But it was great fun to see you in person but also see you in action in person.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like listen to your presentations and watch them. And it was just, it was really great.
Yeah, look, I can't believe that I almost forgot about VR Nation, considering I was there for almost a week. Another really great event. I remember eating wings and potatoes. Those are my two big takeaways. And then just meeting so many great people. I remember just being there, and a lot of people that I talked to online and met face to face. Then they were very welcoming and wanting to have a drink and wanting to have a chat. And you kind of feel like you're part of the community, even though you've kind of just met them face to face for the first time.
Yeah, it was a wonderful feeling because it was the first in-person event that I had attended in the States. So it was nice to meet people that I'd been speaking to online and on the phone for many months and years, and then to put some faces to names. But yeah, it really felt inclusive, didn't it?
Yeah, yeah. And I think people in general by nature, they are that way, and especially considering we work in hospitality, so people do want to welcome you. I think as well, we're a bit more traveled, right? So you being from the UK and then Canada, me coming from Australia and New Zealand now. So it's been, it's kind of nice that way. Now, look, we're on the podcast today because I wanted to talk about the silly season. And the silly season is right now. It happens every year. So if you're a listener and you're wondering what it means that in September and October, there is probably the highest concentration of hospitality, short-term rental, and hotel events in one period of time. You've got events that are happening all over the world, from Dubai to London to Barcelona, you name it. All the big hotel conferences are happening. In Australia, we have No Vacancy, which is coming up, which I'll be presenting at. We have a ComCon. We've got the Astra conference, and they're all happening within a short space of time. In between all of that, I'll be heading over to VRMA. And then amongst all of it all, we've got the Scale conference as well. I think you were talking about that as well, Jen?
Yeah, there's doing a scale one in London, I think. But there's a bunch. I don't even think I could name all of them. I don't think there is a definitive list anywhere because there's just so many in-person events coming out, aren't there?
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, there's a big demand for it. And I think that people see the value in actually going to these events. And I'm going to tell you a quick little story. I got on the phone to an industry friend earlier this week, and we're talking about what's going on in the industry. And there's a couple of happenings that I had missed. In the grapevine, I was like, and he's like, you don't know about this stuff? You're completely disconnected from the industry, aren't you? And I took massive offense because I like to stay informed. I like to know what's going on because it's important to know, because you need to know what's changing, who's leading what companies, where the technology is going, what's happening overall in the industry, because it helps you as a business owner further your own business interests. Now, the reason why we're here today is because I want to talk about your event, which is coming up. We're sponsors of that event as well. We've been sponsoring your event for a couple of years now. Tell us when it is and what it's all about.
Well, I like how you refer to it as silly season. And, in-person events are amazing. We were talking about a couple that we went to and we were there together, and you've got your amazing events coming up in the spring. They're really important. And I don't think anything can compete with that face-to-face meeting. However, Not everyone can travel to these events.
Sure.
You know, it's not just the time, but it's the money. It's other things that are going on in people's lives that they can't take time away for. So my event is online. It's called the Direct Booking Success Summit. It's now in its fourth year. So you can think back to when I started it. I started it in 2021. That was the first one. And it was as we were coming out of that pandemic. And I just thought there is no space for us to continue to meet online while, it was all that new normal and all these kind of terms that we were using. But it just felt like we needed a space. I knew the in-person events were going to come. Now they are silly now. There's so many of them. But great if you can go to them. But there's still a need, I think, for an online summit where we can come together, we can learn, we can network, we can meet each other, meet people who, could be down the road from you, but also could be on the other side of the world.
Mm. Yeah, absolutely. I've been so a few things that I want to kind of unpack with what you were saying. So I think that there's different benefits to a online event versus a live event. So a live event, I shouldn't be saying this, but for me, it's all about the connections that I make with people. I don't have that much time to spend in the seminar rooms because I'm talking to so many people that I need to catch up with, and there'll be probably about 100 or 150 people in the room that I want to at least have a few minute conversation with over that 2 day period. From a learning perspective, though, the online stuff is great. Not only because, of course, you've got community, which we'll come back to in a second, but from a learning perspective, there's nothing that I like more than seeing what's going on, what are the latest updates. What I love about your event is that it's towards the end of the year. And what I love about the end of the year is that it's an inflection point for people to take stock of what they've done in the past 9, 10 months, and then plan for the future as well and say, okay, well, what are we going to do? And it's very important come that October, November, December period that you do have that plan. Now, some people plan mid year, but it's also good to do every 6 months. And this is a kind of a great inflection point. And the why I love your event is because there's just so many speakers and so much content that you can pick and choose what you want and then apply that information to what you're doing and make a plan for the future.
Yeah. No, I'm glad you've picked up on that. And, the connection is a hard thing to try to recreate online. But I think we've kind of done it with our networking sessions. I don't know if you
Mm,
were in one last year, but we do small breakup rooms. And I know that I was told off by someone because I was going too fast because they're like, we have so much to talk about. So I think
mm,
people would have been just happy if they'd stayed in the same room the whole time. So we do some networking there and working on that connection. But the sessions, when you go to a big in person event, you have different sessions on at the same time because they only have
sure.
so much time, right?
Yeah.
And so online, we don't have to do that. You can choose what you want to see. You've got 24 hours to watch everything. Um, I I'm not telling anyone to go and watch. I think we're having 27 or 28 sessions in 3 days.
Wow.
I'm not telling anyone to go and spend all that time in front of the screen, but to pick and choose the ones that can help you now.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So 27 sessions this year. How many attendees have you had over the past few years? Because I know that when every time I tell people this number, their jaws drop and go, "Oh my God, that's huge." So how many do we have this year, or did we have
Well,
last year? Sorry.
yeah, last year we were just about 1,000.
Yeah. Wow.
And this year I'm hoping, I'll say it out loud. I'm hoping to double it. I really
Yeah.
am.
Wow.
I'm hoping to double it because there's no barrier. It's free.
Yeah.
It's free.
Yeah.
Yes, there is a paid upgrade, which we can talk about if you like, but that's got bonuses and whatnot in it. But the actual summit and the learning and all the sessions it's free and
Yeah.
it's online. I like to say it's the best fun you can have with your pajamas on.
Absolutely. Look, always a benefit to be able to be in bed, catching up on content. The worst thing is when they ask you to switch your screen on, right? Then
Yeah,
you're in
yeah. Don't
trouble.
worry, we won't do that to you.
So, um, right. So we got roughly around about 1,000 people that attended last year. We're going for 2,000 this year, and I think that the great thing with being online is that there's no real cap, right? As long as there's people that are interested in it, then they can attend. Now, I want to talk about the content a little bit, and it's all about direct bookings, but I think that direct bookings are a result of everything you do before that direct booking. So we're talking marketing, we're talking branding, we're talking photography, we're talking about copywriting, and all of these key concepts. And even when we go back to branding, it can be the physical stuff that you do within the property and the experience for the customer, building community. Or there's so many different ways to drive direct bookings. But for me, I would almost want to put on as a background to your logo the marketing and Book Direct Summit or something with that. Tell me about sort of that marketing funnel and about those marketing principles that people really need to learn about
Well,
and why
yeah,
it's important.
yeah, sure, no problem. I'll just tell you the topics that we really focus on are marketing, organic and paid, but also hospitality and guest experience. Because, like you said, the direct booking success is what you get at the end. It's all the things you've got to do beforehand, and it's not just marketing. So, the bulk of the sessions are marketing related. And we're talking about branding. You said branding. That's really important that people can not necessarily it's your logo, it's the feeling they get when they interact with you when they're going through the booking process, when they see your marketing, your social posts, your emails. It's everything how they feel that they're interacting with you. So branding is a top one in there. Email marketing. That is something that we talk about it every year. Different
Mm,
slants, of course, because it's so important. Your website. It's I like to think of marketing for direct bookings as you need two things. You need somewhere for people to book, which is, i.e., your website, and you need a way to tell them to get there. And that's
mm,
all the marketing that you do. So we're talking about websites. I think I know somebody who's going to be talking about that topic. Looking forward to that. Um, but then it's social media and it's content creation,
mm,
and the different types of content that you can create, whether it's videos or photography or whatever. How about learning to market to Gen Z?
mm.
They're a different kettle of fish, aren't they?
Yeah.
So it's just all of these things that you get some tips from, you get some help from, and you can then put them into your business to help increase those direct bookings.
Going back to the conversation I had with my friend who said that I was out of the loop, it was a moment of panic for me, and not because of do I feel that I'm in the loop or out of the loop. It was a moment for me to check in with myself and go, am I current? Am I up to date with what's going on? Because the worst thing you can do is say, oh well, I did the summit last year, so why would I do it again? Why would I go back and do the next event? Oh, I've already seen them speak. He's talked about direct bookings. He's talked about AI. I've done all of it. I know everything. You know what? It's all changing, and it's changing so fast all the time. And plus, your business has changed. So those takeaways that you got a year ago, the things that you found most important a year ago in your journey were important at that moment in time. when you go back a year later, even if you see the same presentation, you'll probably get different learnings from it because you've progressed as a business owner. Maybe you've grown bigger. Maybe you've changed verticals, changed niches. Maybe you sorted out a bunch of stuff that were at the start of your journey, and now you're further down that funnel that you need to go in. And if you don't keep up to date, it's very, very easy to get left behind. So you need continuous learning and development to make sure that your business is going to be in the right place.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I don't agree with your friend saying you're out of the loop because you're one of the most in the loop people that I know. In fact, I get WhatsApp messages from you and I go, I didn't hear that, so, you were definitely in the loop. But it's not just that, you think that the topics are the same, it's marketing, that these are the topics that are going to be in there, but it's the different slants on them. It's the different points of view, new speakers coming in to talk about things. Somebody could just say something in a way that makes you go, ah, I get it.
Mhm.
And that's what we're looking for, is that when you watch a presentation involved in a session, that they're going to say something in there that you're going to go, yes, have that little light bulb moment. I think, what does Oprah call them? Aha moments.
Mhm.
You've got to, that's what you're wanting to get from a session, not to copy down every single note that you can get out of it,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
but just to get that one piece, that one nugget that is going to make a difference in your business. And I like how you said, yes, you're different this year than you were last year,
Yeah. Yeah.
and they're different sessions, different speakers.
Yeah. As well. Um. Okay. So, what dates are we talking about?
The 9th to 11th of October.
Great. And I should know this, right? I think you probably were like, why is he asking me this? That
That's
he's
okay.
all over this. Funnily enough, at the same time, I'll be in the Gold Coast in Queensland, and then I'll be heading over to VRMA as well. So I'll be all over the place. Try to tune into as many sessions as I can. Maybe do one live, maybe record it. We'll see exactly what I give. Now, for my session, yes, we're going to be talking about websites and book direct. And what I'm going to be doing actually is I'm going to take the best parts of my masterclass, which I delivered at Strive earlier on this year, and then give that for free at this particular event. Now it's going to be a condensed version, of course, so people need to keep up. But really, the other thing that I want to stress about when you're at these sessions and when you get to engage with people that are kind of experts in the field, in my view, what makes someone an expert is that they're really working in it and talking about it and thinking about it obsessively all the time. And that's what I do. I think about technology, marketing, AI all the time. It's incessant. It's, I'll be at the pub with friends and I'll be showing them stuff and then I do just shut up. We're not interested in it, but that's kind of the way that I'm wired. And I don't learn because I'm learning from myself. I learn because I'm working with others. I'm attending events. I'm hearing the feedback saying, hey, this is working, this isn't working. So that's how I'm becoming an expert at what I actually do. And I think that what you'll find is that when you get to see, let's say, a handful of the 27 sessions, let's say if you even see 5 of those sessions, you're getting caught up with what that person has learned over that 12 or 24-month period and just take it away in one go. And then you can go and implement those
Mhm.
things in your business.
Yeah, that's what makes you an expert, right? You're continuously learning on that topic. It's something you might be really interested in, something that you used in your business. Some of the people that were speaking are property managers themselves. So they're sharing their expertise and they're sharing what has worked for them, what has worked with clients. So yeah, I totally agree. It's coming and just immersing yourself in that subject.
So you get involved because you want to learn more. You want to know what's going on with the industry. You want to think about the following year, what you're going to be doing in your business. In terms of those networking opportunities, I wanted to go back to that because we're talking about live and not live. And you said, yes, there are breakout rooms and that sort of thing. One thing that I noticed at these events, quite often at the end of a session, and the speaker will put up their email address and say, hey, any questions, just send me an email and that sort of thing. Top tip, by the way, if you're ever looking for somebody company's email address, find their domain name, and there's a good chance that their first name at their domain name is actually the CEO's private
Yeah.
email address. It's
They
so
might do
wild,
dot
man.
their surname, but yes, you can
Correct. It might be
probably
by.
hack their email address very easily.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
really easy to figure out how to get in touch with them. But I digress a little bit. Community and connection. Tell me a little bit about the sort of practical side of it in terms of attending the event.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, most of the sessions will be pre recorded. Okay.
Yeah.
This just makes it easier for all of us involved. And they will be released in blocks on all 3 days, and you can watch them as fast or as slowly as you want to over 24 hours until the next ones are launched. But there's going to be some live events as well online. We've got our kickoff party, we've got the closing party. I'm going to do a workshop. We've got some people doing some live presentations with a Q&A right afterwards, so you can ask them that question right then and there. I'm going to do some panels with our speakers, so you can ask your questions there live with them. I said the networking hot seat sessions, where I actually put on my coaching hat and help people with what they're getting stuck with. And there's something else that I've got to say that I'm doing because I still haven't set it up yet, but this will hold myself to accountability. And that's a yoga session. It's to get
Oh,
people off their bums, out of bed, and moving. So I'm hoping to set that up as well. But I think
are
it's
you are
going to
you are
be,
you going to be our host
I
for the
know.
yoga session?
This
Okay,
I
that's
know.
cool.
This would be yoga. Okay, we're done now. So we've got to, I've got to find someone that will do it. So that's what I'm looking for. But just do some things that are maybe a little bit different.
Hmm.
We play bingo. We've got the prizes that are coming in for this year are amazing, and it's so much fun. I remember last year, people just because we had a group last year where everyone was posting messages, and they were saying how the bingo was just the best thing ever, the things that they were winning, because it's a prize for one person. So the companies go crazy for it. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a big party and an educational party. I don't know if
Yeah,
that's an oxymoron, but
yeah,
you're going to learn a lot, but you're also going to have lots of fun.
that's amazing. Um, cool. And okay, so the one caveat, right? This event is free, but and it's recorded, but you've got a time limit to watch the content. And what
Yes.
what what I love about this is if people don't have a time limit to do something, generally they just won't get it done unless they're
Yep.
very well organized. And there's just so many other distractions and life things that come up, and then a year's gone by and you haven't managed to watch it. But
Yep.
here,
I've
what
done
we're
the same
saying
thing.
is, yeah,
Yep.
yeah. I mean, I've bought courses and just not been able to focus and spend the time on them.
Yeah.
That's why I love Udemy, by the way, because it works quite well. Anyway,
Yeah. Yeah.
people
And
will have to watch it within that 24-hour block. There will be recourse to watch it later on. Tell us about that.
yes, so we have the all access pass. It's a paid upgrade. Okay. Because I think a lot of people think that when you're putting on an online summit, there's no costs involved. And that couldn't be farther from the truth. There are tons of costs putting on an online summit, notwithstanding our own time and effort that we're putting into it to put it on. So the all access pass helps me recoup. I'm just being completely transparent. It helps recoup some of that money that I'm putting out there. And so the paid upgrade allows you to have ongoing access to all those replays, and there'll be a ton of bonuses in there from the speakers and sponsors to really make it worth your while.
Yeah, and look, and the great thing with the all access pass is it's not expensive. It's hundreds of dollars, right? Like not like 100, 200, 300 more.
Yeah, it'll be less than that. Don't you worry. It's a
Oh,
great
okay.
deal. It's a
Yeah,
really great
it,
deal.
it really is. If you look at the number of sessions that you get and the amount of content that you get, one thing I love about education is that for most countries, you can then claim back that expense on your taxes for for the business, because it's all business learning and that sort of stuff in most countries. So check your local tax laws, but I haven't heard of any that don't apply that. So it's a really good one. And from your perspective as a there's kind of two things. One is that not only are you getting all this great content, you're getting those connections and that sort of thing, but you're also supporting an event, which I think is incredibly important. And we want these events to succeed and to keep them going. I really want to stress that to everyone, is that we look at these events and there are people that are organizing and putting their whole lives into it, and supporting them is critical. It's not like, like trying to get a free ticket or free this and that. All right, good, but think about where you would like things to grow and succeed. And if you like the person, if you like the event, if you think it should succeed, then contribute and help it be successful, because in the next year they can make it bigger, better, keep investing in it. If it's not successful, then you lose that invaluable resource and that person working on your behalf to create this really cool stuff.
Yeah.
um,
That's so true, Bart. It really is. So, go to directbookingsuccesssummit.com and sign up. If the registration isn't open yet, it will be a wait list, and share it with people. Tell them about it. Tell them you're excited about it. That would just mean the world, because it means that more people see it and more people can get involved and enjoy it.
Yeah, beautiful. Look, I'm looking forward to taking part. As I said, we are sponsors of this event, because it's kind of on the philosophy that I was just talking about. I think that for us, there's not a huge financial reward to sponsor you, but to believe in your vision and your event is really what's most critical, is to help this thing grow. And obviously, we're massive Book Direct supporters and fans, and we think that it's a very important part of your overall business strategy. Before I say goodbye, folks, if you are tuned in on Apple, if you're tuned on Spotify, can you do me a favor and just jump in and leave a review? If you've got to this stage and you've heard me saying this, I'm talking to you specifically. Can you please just go through, leave us a review, and that's going to help us rank higher on the search results, get a bigger audience, a bigger listenership, which means that I can keep on getting great guests like Jen, and keep giving back to the community. Our YouTube channel, ever since I've been asking you guys to subscribe at this particular point, it's growing gangbusters. So I'd really appreciate that same support across the podcast. And if you're on YouTube, 99% of you aren't subscribed, so this means that I'm talking to you as well. Just hit that subscribe button. Folks, all the show notes will be below. You'll get the link to the event as well, so you'll be able to subscribe and get yourself going. Jen, absolutely adore you. You're fantastic. Thank you for what you do for the industry, and I'm looking forward to participating in the event, and hopefully we'll find a way to catch up with each other relatively soon.
Yeah, great. Well, we'll see you online in October.
Take care.
Bye.